Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at the Ohio in Airship Escort. I have been loving this game mode being back over the last couple of weeks. And I had a really good time in Ohio. All these brawling battleships just felt like a breath of fresh air after some of the random battles we've had recently. Unfortunate to see the mode go, but I did enjoy it while it was still here. Of course, with subs being buffed and new carrier lines being added recently, that's one of the main reasons that random battles has been so bad for anyone trying to push in Brawl. But at least we had this game mode for a little while. Wargaming, please bring it back for a little longer this time. Starting off with the Ohio here, we are playing towards the middle of the map here, trying to deal with these airships as they're crossing over this point. It's a really crucial step to at least help your airship across these areas. But we have to deal with the Schlieffen. Fortunately, our team worked on the Unicum there, so managed to take him out. But as we know, Schlieffens are pretty terrifying in this game mode. If you didn't see it, go check out yesterday's video, because, yeah, Schlieffen is nuts. The secondaries on that ship are unbelievably powerful. So we're going to try and stay as far away from him as we can, or just try to kill him quickly so that we don't die to these secondaries. Even in Ohio, can die very quickly here. Something you do want to consider is your upper belt and deck armor can actually shatter the small caliber HE there on the Schlieffen secondaries, and that's what we want him to hit. If he hits our superstructure, yeah, he's going to pen. But if we fully angle bow in or stern towards him, that's a 32 mil plate that we're showing to him, which he's just going to auto pen with those IFHE secondaries. So we really do want to be showing some of our belt armor to him, while also kind of limping behind this island to try to avoid that incoming damage as much as we can. We've done some decent damage so far, but now that he's broadside to us, we get a sneaky back turret on him, and that does citadel him, because as always, back turret is best turret. Double fire here means we're not running fire prevention. As I've been saying over the last few months, I've not been running fire prevention on these brawling secondary builds, and I do get punished for it here. It can happen, especially in a game mode like this where things are a lot closer. You can get punished for it more. So if you're planning on playing like this a little bit, yeah, fire prevention could be a better choice than probably concealment, I would say. Probably should have swapped that, but it's not the end of the world. We still have 4 heals left. We're using another one. One of the main strengths of Ohio is those fast cooldowns on those heals. Gives us a lot of HP in a very short amount of time. Slowly reversing back towards the objective, since we do need to push it along. And our team has lost every single DD already. It's been 5 minutes. That's a little rough, I'm not going to lie. But we can try and bring this back. At least with this mode, it's not quite as crucial to have DDs as long as you have some decent capital ships willing to push the airship along, and we are certainly willing. Whether or not we can do it and accomplish that goal of pushing across that final stretch towards the end of open water, we'll see. But for now, let's deal with this Takahashi as he is pushing towards our cap circle. And I was surprised I didn't kill him there, to be honest with you, but we've had some good salvos already, and there's plenty more good ones to come. So let's not worry about it too much. Overmatch should do him in here. And our secondaries do a decent job as well. Even though these aren't as good as Schlieffen secondaries. There's our citadel. It's always the pitadel, right? Right at the end for very little damage. The secondaries still do quite good damage here since we are very accurate. They light a lot of fires. And so we actually get pretty decent damage out of them into superstructures specifically. As long as we can go after some bigger battleships, that kind of thing. Or DDs, we do okay. Now, 2 destroyers pushing behind us is a bad thing, but for now, we get a cheeky little shot here across into the Kansas. Notice we have just under 80,000 damage done here. And we triple citadel them. We're up to 132,000 damage now. You know, that's not expected, but it is appreciated. I would certainly love it if we did that kind of damage to broadsides all the time. But that's not how the game works these days, unfortunately. But I will take it here, gladly. Up to 5 citadels now. That's 3 kills for us, and we are still pushing our airship. We're still behind, but now we've at least leveled things out a little more when it comes to kills. Unfortunately for us, we do have a couple of destroyers to worry about, but they are behind us. That's going to make it a little bit easier for us to cross this gap, since we won't have to worry as much about the YOLO torps on a Regulo, or even just the regular torpedoes on a Marceau. So now we're going to look for this incomparable, but mainly the Freddy. The Freddy is the one pushing their airship forward, and that's who we want to deal with ideally. But hey, if the enemy team's going to push behind us, we would love to deal with that flank first, especially while we have the time here. It's going to take a little bit for this Freddy to get around this island, since I don't think he's going to willingly push around very quickly. Defense has one of the biggest citadels in the game, by the way. I don't know if you knew that, but maybe not from this gameplay, but trust me, one of the biggest, easiest to hit citadels in the entire game. It's called defense, but it lacks any sort of defense at all. Unless it's me, I suppose, fighting it. Feels bad to not get a citadel there, but hey, let's focus on the Kansas dev strike. It's airship, so we don't get the awards, but certainly was a dev strike. We should finish him off this time. There we go. Still no citadel on that one, unfortunately. And then our Missouri dies from like 55,000 HP somehow. I guess Incomparable got like a triple citadel through his bow at that range. I will say, if Incomparable did that more, I would probably like it a little bit more. We're going to shoot all our guns here into the superstructure of a Freddy on 3,000 HP, simply to kill him quickly. I was very broadside to him, and at these ranges, even German guns can hurt, so I really wanted to finish him off as quickly as we could. And now we get into their cap circle. So even though we're slightly behind, by the way, that was a Kraken already, the 5 kills. We're nowhere near done yet, but just a Kraken already. A lot of work to do. A little greedy on that shot for that angle. Hoping for maybe the Cheek Citadel on German battleships, but that's a pretty small target to hit, and we certainly don't get it there. Probably should have just gone for superstructure. I'm stopping here or slowing down here because we know Pommern has 6-kilometer torps, right? And based on how he turned in, I figured he'd fired the ones off the right side of his ship. And I was right. I was cutting it close, but I was right that he launched them a little too soon if I was to slow down. Now, we do take him out, but he definitely got enough angle to actually make use of his torpedoes there. I don't know who, but somebody got a massive hit in the incomp there. And because our second gun was taken out, it's actually available. It was on reload for that last shot into the Pommern, and we get a Citadel there, so I will gladly take that. Propulsion mod coming in clutch, allowing us to accelerate and dodge those last Pommern torpedoes, and our teammates managed to take the Marceau out. That is 238,000 damage and 7 kills, pushing the airship into the victory location as well. But you know what? 7's not quite good enough. Let's grab an 8th kill for the road, and we'll call it there. 240k damage, 8 kills, 244 I guess, 8 kills, and a ton of secondary hits. A lot of brawling, a lot of fun, and a pretty decent carry, if I do say so. So that is going to be our best Ohio game, or one of the better Ohio games I had over the last couple of weeks, and the secondaries were pretty good here, but more of the damage was from our main guns compared to the Schlieffen, of course. And that one we got like 120,000 damage from those secondaries, something like that. It was crazy Schlieffen game. This one only 50k, so still not bad, but nowhere near Schlieffen level of those secondaries. As for the build here on the Ohio, this one is a mostly brawling build, but it'll still work really well in randoms. This isn't nearly as dedicated as that Schlieffen build was yesterday. So we're going with secondaries, but we're still going reasonable on some of the other elements of the ship. Grease the gears and gun feeder helping us to get the right ammo type on target quicker. It's just really nice to have with someone like Halsey, those faster turret traverse, as well as the swap time being really fast too. 5 heals, very useful, as this ship can go through them really quickly. And like I mentioned in this video, I think fire prevention is probably better if you're brawling it out like this more. If you're going for a dedicated build for an Airship Escort type game mode, that might do a little bit better. But if you're in randoms, having that full conceal is nice. That way you're at 14 kilometers. You can be a little more effective as a mid-range battleship then. Still not going full secondaries here. We still definitely want this 11% accuracy buff. It's a lot, man. That is a lot of accuracy that you have. Not even worth getting reload mod or the secondary reload, really. I think this is just too important. Lets us land some of those salvos like that dev strike on that Kansas. Very, very nice to see. Propulsion mod there, as you saw, helped us accelerate out of the way of those Pommern torpedoes towards the end. I like the extra maneuverability, and sure, we get a little punished on the fire durations on this ship then, but our damage control is decent immunity time, and we do want to be taking breaks or checkpoints, as I like to call them, behind islands, taking 1v1s, that kind of thing. But also, you noticed in this game a few times where I just kind of slowed down behind an island, waited for some of my consumables to come back up, for myself to heal a little more before entering the next engagement. That's a really good opportunity to take advantage of these fast cooldown heals, so you can take multiple fights, but break them up. You don't really want to take one long sustained engagement, as you probably will die. That's just kind of how it works at tier 10 with battleships. Secondary battery mod, since on the Americans, there is no aiming systems here. It's over on the 6th slot, so may as well take it. That's one of the reasons Ohio can be such an effective secondary brawler battleship, while also retaining its accuracy on its really good main guns. It's just one of the amazing features of the American battleship line. Unfortunately, you can't take advantage of that as much on the regular tech tree stuff like Montana, since you're still going to go accuracy. It means you're essentially missing out on reload then compared to everyone else, without the opportunity to really take something that's extra impactful. Ohio, though, can, just because it has those improved accuracy on the secondaries compared to something like the Montana. Makes it a little more useful. Of course, the armor here on this ship is incredible. One of the tankier battleships in the entire game, and probably one of the reasons we lived so long in this game and a lot of the other ones that are highlighted by the Ohio. I love this ship. It is really strong. Easily the best Research Bureau ship, in my opinion. Very, very good. Although, if you're not looking for battleships, you're probably going to go for something like a Colbert or a Vampire or something like that instead. But, I don't know. Ohio's just that good, man. I love it, and Airship Escort, man, I'm sad to see it go, but I certainly had a great time with it. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.